Is this thing on? I wonder if the audio is coming through. It's windy as all heck today, and so I don't know that I'm getting good audio. I got the dead cat on, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, it's another day of book reading. I was supposed to do this. The wind is blowing the camera. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I got all hung up and working on finishing Stoic Voyager, the new AI book, and I spent the whole morning doing that instead. I was on a roll. I was really giving the book one last total read through, and then I just wound up just running out of time, and so I just skipped this. Oh, hi, Andranio Rizzi. I'm sorry I'm saying your name. Can you hear me all right? Is the audio coming through okay? Can you let me know? It's windy as all heck here today. And I don't know if this dead cat is working well to block the wind. And you can see it's blowing the camera around. If you could just, I have a request for you, okay? I can try. It depends on what it is. Can you let me know if the audio is coming through? Do I sound okay? What's your request? You have me curious as all heck. What could it be? What could it be? So I see a couple of people there. Can I get a sound check? Can someone let me know if this is coming through okay? It's, wind is blowing really hard, so I don't know if it's really bad wind sounds. I'm going to read the final bits of of my book, Going Alone, and then that'll wrap up another full reading of the darn thing. So I'm not getting any audio check. Maybe that means the audio is not coming through, but I'll go ahead and just continue anyway. And I don't see your request. Can you lie down on the seashore and let waves immerse you? No, I don't think I'm going to do that. So I was already in the water. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the reading now. Wow, wind. Oh my gosh. It's really blowing like crazy. It's kind of fun. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can do this. I got to be able to do it and then hold this at the same time because I can't clip it on anything. So I finished last time I finished My God is a Little God was the chapter. Hold on. Wow, this wind is something else. Okay, here we go. Final thoughts. Hopefully it won't blow all over. Okay, final thoughts. You can see it's like the last bit here. There's a picture of me out there in the desert. Before I leave you alone. Going alone is less about going solo into wild places or living tolerant of solitude or without the warm blessing of family and friends, and more about a willingness to carry on through life with a positive, optimistic spirit, in spite of the perceived void-like indifference of nature. It's about making life good and just and communal, where the responsibility for defining goodness is our own, resting on our own shoulders, with additional responsibility to live well and to also actively work to improve this good living with each passing day. You are among this tribe if you do not shy away from what you find, or do not find, in the wild, or in solitude, or in the quiet moments alone with your mind. And if you decide instead to actively do something about these discovered facts in order to make something beautiful and meaningful of your brief life and days, and if you do this of your own volition, mostly, not relying on others to pave over and civilize the wild with their own unfounded explanation, excuse, or dogma, then you will rise to your full stature as a person of reason, an individual of truth, someone both humbled and in awe of the uncertain night, and willing to live the good life in that dim, obscure place to the end of your days, or until discovery and effort at last reveal or produce some truer light. And then there's a note here that says, continue the adventure at goingalone.org. So I remember when I added this bit, I wasn't so sure that it was conveying the message I meant to say. But now, as the months and years go on, I think it's exactly what I wanted to say. Okay, so then it has the little bit there that says be safe but not too safe, and then we move on to the next bit. Okay, this is an epilogue, and it's a quote by Nathaniel Hawthorne that I thought really captured the whole essence of, at least not the whole essence of the entire book, but at least the essence of the lack of intrinsic meaning in the life beyond reproduction. Epilogue. So this whole thing is a quote from Nathaniel Hawthorne's House of the Seven Gables. This was observable when one of those Italian boys came along with his barrel organ and stopped under the wide and cool shadows of the elm. With his quick professional eye, he took note of the two faces watching him from the arched window, and, opening his instrument, began to scatter its melodies abroad. He had a monkey on his shoulder, dressed in a Highland plaid, and, to complete the sum of splendid attractions wherewith he presented himself to the public, there was a company of little figures whose sphere and habitation was in the mahogany case of his organ, and whose principle of life was the music which the Italian made it his business to grind out. In all their variety of occupation, the cobbler, the blacksmith, the soldier, the lady with her fan, the toper with his bottle, the milkmaid sitting by her cow, this fortunate little society might truly be said to enjoy a harmonious existence and to make life literally a dance. I think it's very apt that I'm reading this as all the noise of the busyness of life is happening around me and the tragedy. The Italian turned a crank, and behold, every one of these small individuals started into the most curious vivacity. The cobbler wrought upon a shoe. The blacksmith hammered his iron. The soldier waved his glittering blade. The lady raised a tiny breeze with her fan. The jolly toper swigged lustily at his bottle. A scholar opened his book with eager thirst for knowledge and turned his head to and fro along the page. The milkmaid energetically drained her cow, and a miser counted gold into his strong box, all at the same turning of a crank. Yes, and moved by the same self-impulse, a lover saluted his mistress on her lips. Possibly some cynic, at once merry and bitter, had desired to signify in this pantomimic scene that we mortals, whatever our business or amusement, however serious, however trifling, all dance to one identical tune, and, in spite of our ridiculous activity, bring nothing finally to pass. For the most remarkable aspect of the affair was that, at the cessation of the music, everybody was petrified at once from the most extravagant life into a dead torpor. Neither was the cobbler's shoe finished, nor the blacksmith's iron shaped out, nor was there a drop less of brandy in the toper's bottle, nor a drop more of milk in the milkmaid's pail, nor one additional coin in the miser's strong-box, nor was the scholar a page deeper in his book. All were precisely in the same condition as before they made themselves so ridiculous by their haste to toil, to enjoy, to accumulate gold, and to become wise. Saddest of all, moreover, the lover was none the happier for the maiden's granted kiss, but rather than swallow this last too acrid ingredient, we reject the whole moral of the show. Nathaniel Hawthorne. That does it. That's us. He nailed it. Okay, the next bit is a quote from the Bible, from the book of Ecclesiastes. This is Ecclesiastes 9. When I read this, I realized it was quite apt for my book, and I had to include it at the end. Here it is. Quoting from Ecclesiastes. So I reflected on all this and concluded that the righteous and the wise and what they do are in God's hands, but no one knows whether love or hate awaits them. All share a common destiny, the righteous and the wicked, the good and the bad, the clean and the unclean, those who offer sacrifices and those who do not. As it is with good, so with the sinful. As it is with those who take oaths, so with those who are afraid to take them. This is the evil in everything that happens under the sun. The same destiny overtakes all. The hearts of people, moreover, are full of evil, and there is madness in their hearts while they live, and afterwards they join the dead. Anyone who is among the living has hope. Even a live dog is better off than a dead lion. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing. They have no further reward, and even their name is forgotten. Their love, their hate, and their jealousy have long since vanished. Never again will they have a part in anything that happens under the sun. Go, eat your food with gladness, and drink your wine with a joyful heart. For God has already approved what you do. Always be clothed in white, and always anoint your head with oil. Enjoy life with your wife, whom you love, all the days of this meaningful life, of this meaningless life that God has given you under the sun. All your meaningless days. For this is your lot in life, and in your toilsome labor under the sun. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might. For in the realm of the dead, where you are going, there is neither working, nor planning, nor knowledge, nor wisdom. That's from the New and International Version, the NIV version of the Bible. Again, Ecclesiastes 9. Very, very suitable ending. But wait, there's more. Okay, about 2 years ago, I was contacted by a pretty elderly man who had read Going Alone and wanted to meet me. So he lived here in the LA area, so I went out to meet him. And he gave me this story called Ghost Town, which he didn't ask me to do anything with it, but he said he gave it to me to do as I see fit. I put it in the book here, and it remains anonymous, so I won't tell you what his name is, because I don't think he wanted his name to be known. I think that's part of the story of what he told in this bit called Ghost Town. So let's read this. Ghost Town, given to me by an old man who used to be a college professor, but is now a living ghost. I recently bought 2 books on ghost towns. I have some others too. As I read in them a bit, I saw the ghost towns as a metaphor for my own life. I once had some action going on. It may even have appeared to others as though I was something special. People called me, and I called them. I spent time with people for both business and personal reasons. People probably talked about me more than I would have liked, and I am pleased that I was not listening in. I would have been embarrassed, but now no one does. I have become a ghost town. People see me, but I have no meaning in their lives at all. Some stop by in the form of phone calls, and I do have a few correspondents left, but that's all the visitation I receive now. Even some of the correspondence I send does not get quickly returned, as with Bill, June, and Aunt Sally, both ladies having finally died. This all reminds me of Mr. Flood's Party by Edward Arlington Robinson. Call me Ebb and Flood. Ghost towns are lonely places, especially at night, where the hotels and saloons once offered gaiety and diversion. The doors are permanently closed now, and electricity is no longer furnished. Houses, which once gave shelter and witnessed family gatherings and, I dare say, procreating, well, these houses only serve the needs of lesser creatures seeking shelter undisturbed. The streets are completely and regrettably safe to wander. No one will bother you. The entire town now may in fact legally belong to one person, and even he or she doesn't care what happens there. The place may be worth more if it burns down. Even the wood is too old for the fireplace, the oil and resins having evaporated, the life gone out of it. There is no chance for recovery either. Hospice is not provided for ghost towns because it is futile. I think the town feels lonely because most of the time some personal company would be most welcome. But moribund began long ago, and now the fact of death is ever present. So, to offer any kind of succor at all would be wasteful in a society of disruptive efficiencies. I wonder what my name is. Is it still going? It's still going? I guess so. Yeah, that's a heavy one, right? Jeez. I think my phone's overheating in the sun. I really appreciate that he gave that to me. After that is the appendix. Is that it? Oh, no, my recommended reading. And that's it. And then after that, that's it. That's the end of the darn book. It's about to fall over. So, I think it's best if I shut it down now. Oh my gosh. Oh boy, the sand. It's really coming in. All right, thanks for joining me for another book reading. That's another trip around orbit around going alone. We finished the whole darn thing again, didn't we? So next week I'll be starting off with the introduction chapter again, right off at the start. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm sorry I can't see any comments. The screen has gone dark. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes.